A very good evening to everybody around from wherever you're watching me from. My name is Ade Thomas. We've come to you today with another brilliant edition of African Politics. Uh, Today is a very good day, but there's so much worries on my mind because there's so many things that are not right in our society. So today we're going to be talking about so many things that can limit our progress as a nation, our progress as a new nation, upcoming nation, the nation we want to form. We're going to look at the history, we're going to look at the present, we're going to look at the past and possibility of the future. So today in the studio, I have some few people with us, people that we will be analyzing things together, and I'm still going to have more people later on joining us along the line as well. One of my brother is actually frozen out and one of them is empty. So as soon as they turn up, we will go through it and discuss it. The first person I want to introduce, who need no introduction, of course, is your regular man on the regular show on this program, Frank Bello. Frank Bello, welcome to the show.
Yes, good evening, all. Nice to see you back again, Mr. Ade. Nice to have you this night. I'm sure we're going to have a great show, cracky one. Well done. You're
Okay,
welcome.
thank you very much. Another person is Mr. Adewiyi from Germany again. Is with us again today. So I'm going to show him quickly so that he can say a few words. Mr. Adewiyi, over to you.
Wow, thank you very much, everybody. Welcome again. I'm here. We have time to talk to discuss some important things, the past, the present, and the future. Let's hear to go. Thank
Okay,
you, moderator. Back.
my brother is still frozen up and we're waiting for another one to show up. As soon as they show up, I will try and introduce them, even if I have to break the culture, break the modalities, and get them introduced on the show. Where should we start from? Should we start from something ongoing currently, some breaking news? Because we have some few breaking news that the people might want to know about. One of them is an inferno currently going on in Lagos. Uh, we don't know where exactly, and the way it was recorded, I'm afraid I have to rotate it because it was recorded uh, the other way around. So I'm going to have to rotate it a little bit so that you guys can see exactly what is happening there. And sometimes when you're rotating these things, they don't want to rotate the way you want it to rotate. So, but don't worry, we're gonna get there. It's a very, very big fire happening right now in Lagos. So, without much to do about, much to talk about, without much to ramble on, without much to waste your time, without much to start parabolating, without much to saying rubbish, here's the fire. Let's go.
What is
Currently
going
going
on
on
here now?
in Aro village of Lagos.
This Aro village by the sea. Burn
They
it.
said it's
Now.
actually by the sea.
Now.
Aro
Now.
village
Because of
near
this
Lekki
fire,
on fire. Lagos State Fire Service
Too
should
many.
hurry up. There is no help, save lives and
Almost. This is
property.
like
Some
this
people
is
are
like an
saying
inferno.
it looks like an
this fire.
explosion.
Maybe they stored some combustible items in that place.
Yes,
The
it
fire
must
service
have
ought
been
to be here
some
now.
Past 20 minutes.
combustible
Uh,
item in there. That is why
It's getting more and
I
more
call it
powerful.
a raging
Holy
fire.
Moses.
Mr. Femi Babalola,
Holy
welcome to
Moses.
the show.
Only
Good
God
evening,
knows how
sir.
soon they can
I
get fire
hope you
service
have
here.
a lovely
Oh,
Mm.
Mr.
time.
Femi Abala, welcome.
And this is happening now. Now.
Yes, I
It's
remember that
happening. They
time.
said now, now,
They
now,
actually
now,
came
now,
to
now.
but this one
I
they
like the way
stopped.
the man said now, now, now,
This
now,
is not
now.
that sharp place at all.
No.
It's just direct.
And in most cases,
And it's
the
widening.
fire
It's
must have been
widening.
going on for some time now because that fire is a
Well,
huge
Lagos State
fire.
Fire Service. You rush
Thank you for
down.
joining us, Guy. It's actually breaking news right now in Lagos.
Yeah, Jack on the shop right.
Jack
And this
Conde
is
ShopRite.
done by
I'm just trying to repeat what they're saying to me. I'm going to repeat it
Lekki
again
Beach Road.
So if I let you start all over again, and then we wash it one more time.
Aro village. Yeah, so what is going on here now?
We don't know, and it's pretty close.
It's Aro village by the sea. Burning.
The people are even running.
Now, this is dangerous.
Look at it. There's an explosion.
A booming. It's almost.
This is serious.
This is like an inferno.
Do you say it looks like an inferno, or it's actually an inferno? That doesn't look like an inferno. It's actually an inferno, something, a raging fire, a serious fire with lot of intensity, raging through the city of Lagos.
And this is happening now.
Yes, I remember.
You see, my brother said now. That is, they want the fire brigade now.
No.
I like that.
Just directly behind this
And it's widening. It's widening.
According to report, the fire is getting bigger and bigger.
Just came fire service. You rush down.
They can only rush down if you leave the road empty.
And this is just by the Atlantic.
If the road is not empty, there's nothing, absolutely nothing they can do. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. 75 people still. We want to come to over 100, and then we keep going. Please, guys, share. Some fantastic things to talk about today. I'm sure you see the poster. Did you see the poster, guys? You didn't see the poster. That was a big shame. You need to see the poster because the poster is very, very nice. Tell me you want to see it and I'll show you. Okay, that's it. Betrayal among us. Whether Yoruba, Igbo, whatever you call it. This is the things that's holding us back. It has happened in the past. It's still happening, but we don't want to take it to the future. And the reason we don't want to take it to the future is because it's going to limit so many things that we want to do. It will limit so many things we want to do, and we don't want that to happen. So, without much to talk about and much to waste your time all about, guys, good evening, good morning, good night, good, I don't know how to say it enough. Wherever you are, I'm just saying, welcome to the program. I've introduced Frank Bello. I've introduced Mr. Adewi from Germany as well. And if the other people turn up, one of my brother is actually frozen out. When they turn up, we will go through it together. Thank you for joining, guys. So let's go to Frank Bello quickly. Frank, betrayal among us. What do you understand?
Yes, betrayals amongst us could be anybody. I repeat, could be anybody with a secret or a hidden agenda, either from the eastern region and, now I'm very careful here, I'm not using Biafra, I'm using eastern region, which obviously encompasses everybody on the eastern part of location 9. And we've got the similar sets of people in the western region. Let's look back into history, because anytime we have to dissect events, especially here on Heritage and on my personal platform, we look back into history. Who are betrayals? Betrayals are people that will look at you and then suddenly truncate the plan or the agenda you must have agreed. They come in different forms. They come in different shapes. Was the late Chief Awolowo betrayed? Yes, the late Chief Awolowo was betrayed by a fellow Yoruba man. A Yoruba man inside Yoruba land, betraying the late sage to the extent that the late sage had no choice but was told to behave like a man. In the East, we've equally got betrayals because these betrayals in the Eastern region, they equally betrayed their own people. Some people in the East betrayed Utumegbu Ujuku. Some people misled him. We've got them. But the question is, now that Biafra and Oduduwa Republic are fighting a particular struggle, are we going to see situations within the Eastern region and in IPOB that an individual, I repeat, individuals can suddenly hijack the machinery of the IPOB, the movement that was founded to salvage the political and the economic mess that's been inflicted on the good people of Eastern region? Are we going to see people also in the Western region, in Oduduwa Republic, that will lie their ways and then deceive other people as if they are fighting the same cause that innocent people and people who believe they want to liberate their own people are fighting? We've got them. It's going to happen. And how do you deal with such people in the light of this struggle? Now, let's expand this a bit further rather than digging deep. These betrayals that are both in the midst of both the Eastern region from the IPOB end and the Yoruba end here at the paid up group or members from the Fulanis or the APC or the PDP that may want to truncate the ideals and the dreams that innocent Nigerians who are at the forefront of this struggle to get both Biafra Republic and Oduduwa Republic will be sidelined, and all their efforts will be in vain. Are we going to see such people that will be paid by the Jagabans or the Fulanis to make sure all the dreams of both IPOB and Oduduwa Republic are truncated? At this stage, I'll hand over back to you at the studio. Perhaps other people would like to contribute more on this issue. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Frank Bello. Let me go to Mr. Adewoye in Germany. Mr. Adewoye, what do you have for us? What is your opinion? Betrayers among us.
Hmm. That is very, 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 very important to know that, because it didn't start today, and I doubt if it will end today. Because when we're talking about betrayal among us, there are a lot from the foundation of this, like Mr. Frank we said, this location 9 has been the foundation of betrayal, especially in Oduduwa. Chief Obafemi Awolowo, I read a lot about him. I read a story about him when he wanted to go to school to develop himself, and he called and he wrote a letter, official letter to a notable Yoruba man in Ijebu that I will not call the name, and he said, please borrow me money to go to school. If I finish the school, I'm going to pay you back. with interest. And the man, if somebody come to you to come and borrow money, I think he trusts you. He believes that you believe in him. But for the man to borrow him the money, he rather not to borrow him the money. But at the end of everything, I will still go to school and become a lawyer and still come back and still serve the same man still serve under him. So we have a lot of betrayal among us, even right now, even now, at this dispensation that we are in. A lot of things that you will have a meeting with them concerning the election, and they will discover that this election they are having cannot hold. They know what is going to happen, they know what is going on, and they will tell you everything is well. And to be honest, nothing is well. Everything going on was like, it's like, don't worry, it's going to work. But we know that it cannot never work. I don't want to mention the name. I could remember the time of Nadeko. I read a story about Nadeko when Abacha took over from Alex Soneko. And they said to Abacha when they finished their meeting, we are going to give you one of our own. And they give him Oladipo Dia to be his chief of staff or whatever. And after a long while, the man betrayed him and set him up for death. Obafemi Awolowo, a lot of people have betrayed him. People like a lot of them during the UPN and MPN. I could remember there's a man in Ibadan called Akiloye, Adisa Akiloye, like Akijide. All of them decamped from the UPN to MPN, and they started making all the Yorubas. Let me focus on my people, Oduduwa. We like to betray one another too much. We will still talk in the front, we will still talk, we will still discuss, we will still talk many things. Like Mr. Frank said, Awolowo, he didn't just die. Like somebody just said, it's my time to die, and God just took his life. No, it's different. So what we will discuss this night, we need prayer. A man was talking this afternoon, and he was talking a lot of things. I don't want to talk about that. Back to you, studio.
Okay, I'm not sure if we need prayer or we need to educate ourselves. I think educating ourselves will be better than prayers. Yes, we need prayer to survive in life, but on this occasion, I think we just need to educate ourselves so that we all know what is expected.
Yeah.
Some few days ago, I said what we need to do in the new Oduduwa Republic is to make sure we bring people in and discuss what is expected of them and what is expected of the Oduduwa Republic. And I was making reference to Olayemi Koiki that night to say Olayemi was someone that when we started, he said, "Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us." He was actually thanking the people for joining us for the day, which was a good idea because you guys have a lot of things to do. And you coming to watch us, it's a privilege for us. It's a big, massive privilege because you probably have one thing or the other to do and you left them and you come and sit down with us to watch what we're saying, the jargons we're talking about. It is, we have to keep thanking you because if we don't thank you, we're going to mess up, we're going to miss it, and it's just not going to work, right? It's not going to work. So you coming to us, we want to examine some few history. We want to go down memory lane. We want to go down the history in the past. Guys, I'm not one of those people that said don't name names. Sometimes you might have to name for things to happen, especially the history, because as long that the file has actually been declassified, what I mean by declassify is that after about 20 years or so many years, uh, things doesn't become hidden anymore. Everything is open in the air, so we can talk about it. So
Yeah.
where should I start from? Should I start from Mr. Dewey in Germany? Because you probably have some few history to talk about, Mr. Dewey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. We have a lot of history to take about concerning this Odua Republic. See, Odua Republic is not something that they just stand up today or yesterday or this morning to say we want to have Odua Republic. No, Odua Republic has been on the pipeline for long. I could remember a lot of things I heard about. I'm not that young, because when this administration that is running Nigeria took over in 1982-83, I was in secondary school then, and since I was in secondary school then, I know a lot of things that goes on within the government, within the people, within the Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Like, okay, for instance, when Chief Obafemi Awolowo want to go for the premier of the federation, he handed over to Chief Akitola and said, look after the people. If this one does not work, when I come back, I'll come and continue from where I stopped. And what the story we hear after everything, when the man could not go on with the one that he went for, and what is the thing that he come for? He came back and the man said, Ati fi oje bo losa lowo, okuba beni ti o bo. That is what Chief Akitola said to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, categorically. And Obafemi Awolowo now said to him, said, if that le bo agi owo yen kuro. Then he started recruiting many people around himself. People like Adisa Akinloye, people like Akejide, people like Adelabu Penkelemesi. They call him Adelabu Penkelemesi. Actually, what said is that there's no peculiar mess in this house. When Awolowo was talking, he said there's no peculiar mess in this house. He's talking to Awolowo. And that's why the name Adelabu Penkelemesi in Ibadan. Because Ibadan is the headquarters of the whole western region then. Then Obafemi Awolowo has a very good plan, because he went to school, he's educated, know what he's really doing. But when Odua stand up, so-called Odua children stand up, like what is happening now, a lot of people have asked me a lot of questions. They will say, you think this can work? Because they don't believe in it. They don't want it to happen. I will tell you today that even Alhaji Lateef Jakande that pull Awolowo on the ground and drag him to the mud. It was in the meeting in Enugu when they did the meeting on how they will take the control of the country. Bolage was there. Alhaji Lateef Jakande was there. Many of them were there, that they said this is what we want to do concerning our whole region. But when they come home, what happened? Betrayal. Everybody started turning against everybody. Everybody started turning back against Obafemi Awolowo. Ask myself a very beautiful question. Awolowo went ahead to bring television station into the western region, and he dropped it at Ibadan, which is the headquarters. I asked myself a question: why can't this man take it to Ogun State or take it to Ikenne, where he came from? Which means he has a very good idea. He has a very good foresight. Then every one of them does not want this man to work.
We lost the young man there. I'm sure what happened is that probably someone called him and he freezes his reception. Let's go to Frank Bello. Frank, you
Yeah,
Please, one call.
yeah.
okay? We thought
Is
as
it back?
much, yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Let's take it away
It's
from
back.
him still.
Yes,
Let's
I'm
take it
back.
away from him, yeah. We're gonna take it away from you for some few seconds. You have some few things you've gathered together, Frank Bello, that you want to share with us. Go ahead.
Yes. Apart from that fire to which you actually streamed live, that fire was a fire outbreak from Aro village near Lekki. It was on fire. And obviously, there was no Lagos State Fire Service to contain the fire. Now, coming back to that fire, could this be one of the Fulani's plans and agenda to begin to unleash on southern Nigeria? Now, don't forget that the Onitsha market was equally involved in fire. Now, Lagos fire is going up left, right, and center. Information that I gathered indicated that this is not the only thing that's going to happen, that the Fulanis are now going to use petrol tankers. Any petrol-laden tankers will be exploded. Could this be the new form of that battle that will begin to happen in the country? And if so, where are the military? Nobody is talking about all this fire outbreak going on left, right, and center in southern Nigeria. Now, we've got the Nigerian officials, Nigerian government officials. They've signed a Chinese loan document written in Chinese language. I wonder if they've got any translators that translated what they put their pen on. Now, again, let's ask ourselves, which of those properties in southern Nigeria has been used as collateral for these Chinese loans that they keep getting left, right, and center? If the Chinese can be so smart and not daft, as we've got some daft people who perhaps are educated, but they are illiterate, must have signed a document not written in English or translated in English, but in Chinese, then I'm sorry, there is cause for concern. Now, the SIM card, you remember Buhari daughter's SIM card, to which somebody was actually detained. A trader was detained because they claimed the trader fraudulently obtained the SIM card of Muhammadu Buhari's daughter. But as a matter of fact, the investigation revealed that yes, Buhari daughter used to own that SIM card, but after a very long time of inactivity, MTN deactivated the SIM card, the number, and then put the number back into recycle, only for somebody else to be allocated that number, and bam, the DSS pounced on the poor trader. So we've got a situation now that the trader has been awarded a court damages of about 10 million naira. So in other words, well, let's see if the supposed government will pay up. Let's hope. Will they come up with something else? I don't trust those people. Now, here we are. We've got the appointment of Professor Gambari, and I did made it known. I think this was in a private conversation with me. As you know, I like to play with words and I like to play with numbers as well. But here we are. We've got Buhari with a name with 3 alphabets that end with ARI, Ari, and we've got Kiari, Abba Kiari, the end of that Kiari to ARA, and now we've got a new chief of staff who equally happens to be Gambari with the surname, and again his name ending with an ARI. So we've got something that is synonymous to these three names: Buhari, Kiari, and Gambari. What is that special thing that is synonymous to those Harry's name? So now, with the appointment of Gambari as the chief of staff, for the first time in Nigeria's history, according to the information that is in vogue across location 9, we have a Fulani president and a Fulani chief of staff, both serving a Fulani government with a Fulani agenda. And this was a tweet by FFK, Femi Fani Kayode. And now, you remember that our gentleman there made reference to Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande as the man that actually betrayed the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, one of those that we are talking about, which I think as at that time, the late sage laid a curse on Jakande himself for that betrayal, because Chief Obafemi Awolowo had to take his own life. So, in other words, the late sage, according to what most people don't know, was that he was forced into taking his own life because the government at the time perhaps did not want to rein in another court charges of treasonable felony to him. So this was the problems we had as at that time. And I've got it down as the son of the 12th day of July 2008, and that was a Saturday sun. So I'm actually making reference to that particular newspaper that was published that day. I repeat, Saturday Sun in Nigeria, published on July 12th, 2008. And in one of the caption on the right-hand side, we had that headline that says, "How Yoruba Killed Abiola by Jakande," and that article was on pages 8, 14, and 15 of that edition of the Saturday Sun. And of course, we know the publisher of the Sun, the Eastern Bloc region owns the Sun. So anything that comes in terms of the Oduduwa politics, some newspaper might not be able to carry those information, but the Eastern region from the Biafran end will spill the whole truth out. So here, what baffled me though was that we've got a situation that the same Alhaji Lateef Jakande that subsequently served under Sani Abacha. Obviously, there's no smoke without fire. So that means Alhaji Jakande was compensated at a future date because of that betrayal of Chief Obafemi Awolowo and the fact that MKO2 was betrayed. So we've got Jakande saying, "Oh, how the Yorubas killed Abiola." The Yorubas killed Abiola because they betrayed him as well. The way MKO Abiola equally betrayed the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo alongside Akinjide, Adisa Akinloye, and many of those Ibadan politicians. So Jakande saying how the Yorubas killed Abiola. Strange, but he never said how he managed to orchestrate the killing of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And then in the same paper, incidentally, today we had it as well, to which the same chief of staff to your supposed President Buhari, that man is really Muhammadu Buhari. Now, this new chief of staff, Professor Gambari, said there was no regrets, and in the same paper, he stated categorically why I defended Sarowiwa's killing. Gambari. So, Gambari, a Fulani man, said he defended the killing of Ken Sarowiwa, who was genuinely fighting for the destruction of Ogoni land. And I remember as at that time, because I was the publisher of Romans, and I said it, I think, in one of my stream to Quich, before Ken Sarowiwa was even killed by the Abacha government, I made it known that Shell were drilling and they were killing in Nigeria. And I said, drilling, the title was Drilling and Killing. Shell, go to hell. So how come that the two biggest story in that particular Saturday Sun of July 12th, 2008, one by Lateef Jakonde, and then another one by Gambari, is now repeating itself? These are part of the betrayal, because when we look at Ken Sarowiwa's killing, that was unjust. Was that not a betrayal? Why did Gambari say he will defend somebody that was genuinely fighting for that cleanup mess in Ogoja land? I'll hand over back to you at the studio.
Thank you very much for that. I'm going to quickly introduce one of our latecomer, I won't call him fugitive because he's not a fugitive. When he's there, he gave us a very good ransom. I think NEPA has not done injustice again today. It's my in-law, so I can do whatever I like to him. Yeah. Oh,
Take my letter away.
We want to say something to our people. I'm sure they're gonna curse you today, or they're gonna praise you. Let's see what they say. You know a lot of history, and you're gonna give us a lot of history on this issue today. We're talking about betrayal among us. At the moment, we're talking about history, the betrayers who has betrayed the history. So let me give it to you. First of all, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, why you're dark where you are. Yeah, why you're dark as well. Tell us that one. And then give us a little bit of history, background of what you know, especially the one that we were not born at that time. Maybe you want to make reference to the Biafran War, the betrayal in Biafran War. Maybe that's what you want to go for. Fatai Okurubido. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. My name is Fatai Ogunribido, as introduced. I still retain that name, and that's the name by which everybody knows me. And thank you once again, our viewers, for taking the confidence in us, and for trusting Heritage for what is doing at the moment. Because freedom is our goal, and by the special grace of God, we are going to achieve freedom both in Yoruba land and in Igbo land. Yes, the issue on this question is about betrayal. And if I will have to digress a bit from that particular topic, the reason being that visiting the old history at times don't do justice to certain visions, which one may be nursing. Because when we go back to history, it opens the old ones, and it actually makes us to recapture some bad side of history that may be inciting us against each other, or that may be inciting us against certain individuals, and or that may be inciting us against certain groups that have performed either good or bad in the past. But the 2020 goal, as we are putting it down right now, is to be able to reconcile, incite, motivate, and sensitize our people about the dangers that is very close to us now, which is about the impending overrun of South Nigeria by the Fulani, being aided by the head of the government, as all the security apparatuses in Nigeria now belongs to the Fulani, and everything has been reported being treated with impunity. So that's why I said I would digress, because I would rather explain more about circumstances that creates problems when a goal is being achieved. And those circumstances includes betrayal. It's impeding to every move for progress. It is an impediment to every vision when well conceived. But the fact is this: in every circumstances of life, we are made to be different. Even within our own family, in a family of 6, you have 3 who think alike, you have 2 who are maybe extreme, and you have 1 who might just be in the middle. So it is the same thing in every group of people that gather together for a cause. In a nation that is consisting of over 20 million people, definitely our thinking, our vision, our mission, our objectives might be different. So this is the reason why in the military circle, or during the time that we were being invaded by the juntas, those who plan a coup are always very limited in number. The reason being that if the planning of a coup is extended to the generality of the military, the likelihood is that there could be certain elements who want to expose the planning of that coup. So that's the reason why those who make effective changes are always in the minority. But when the changes now come into effect, then it has some cumulative effect, and it has this bandwagon positive effect. So that's the reason why we can't be surprised that there are betrayers, there are traitors. It is true. And if I may go back to history as well, we were talking about the Jakonde. Let me remind us about something. There was a time when in 19 when the election was to be held in 1983, and Shagari was to be re-elected after completing from 79 to 83. Some aspect of Nigeria UPN were broken away from UPN. Some very important members, so relied upon by the Unity Party, so many of them that actually were holding the strongholds of Unity Party of Nigeria. But characteristically, because of same thing playing up now, that is the empowerment of certain set of people against the others, which relates to the divide and conquer I always refer to, with which they are trying to enslave this Southwest. So those people who were then the actors in 1983 election, they were brutally with. And the reason was this: one excuse that one of them was given was that Chief Awolowo was a dictator, because he had been bribed, he had been convinced by MPN that he needed to deliver his state. I wouldn't mention his name now because it's like opening and hold wounds. So let me, but people know it, will understand it. They were targeting Chief Awolowo as a traitor. That is this: when Awolowo is in discussion with many of his followers, he sees beyond them. He knows better than them. He has been part of the independence. He has been part of Nigerian history. So whatever, there are so many things that Awolowo sees that many of them did not see. The same thing is happening to us as we are talking tonight. Many of us have this vision, but because we are given, because God wanted to use us for a purpose in life, because God has, his own people that He wants to use for His own for the authorization of His own mission. So this is the reason why at times when people are straying, you don't blame them, but people who are meant to actually achieve a goal, the way, as long as they have focus, as long as that vision is well planned, as long as the vision is well meant, it is not meant for rebellion purposes. It is not meant for a betrayal. It is not meant for you trying to outdo somebody. As long as that mission is for a purpose of freedom, and that freedom is imminent. So God is always, you see certain, no matter how little the number is, God will always embolden them, giving them the authority and power, and so that whatever they speak, people out there will listen to them and do accordingly. So when people who have vision, who are God's own chosen ones, when they see beyond, others who are looking at it, they are the stupid ones. Whereas there are those that are not given. So that's the reason why in most cases we have to find a way to reconcile, to find a way to move forward from here. The time is ticking, and the time is ticking so fast that unless we are very, very careful and we try to put everything in place now for lobbying around the world to make sure that everything comes to reality, honestly, we will be put on a very dangerous list. So that reminds me again. You see, at times when I look at Nnamdi Kanu pursues his cause, I love his passion. I love his vision. I love the love for his people. Honestly, despite the fact that he is always accusing my own tribe, people abusing my elders, I don't hold him in any hatred, because I know he may be out of passion for his own mission. He's thinking that talking that might be giving his own people more courage, because that is what their elders, those who fought during the civil war, that's what they find in them. But in that, when we are many, honestly, we fight more causes. It's always like that. But when you look at the way it's taking the issue of the freedom, and you look at the way Tony Nadi is taking his own course, you will know that Tony has the same mission that Nnamdi Kanu has, but they are different. Tony Nadi is approaching this constitutionally, way that will bring peace, and there will be no problem in the land, because as a lawyer, he knows the implication of wanting to secede. So he's trying to organize people to understand, educating them, to allow them to understand what is at stake, where we are coming from, the history, how we've been taken over, how we have been run over, so that these are the ways that we should go, so that there will be no violence. But when you are there, raking on people's gullibility, talking down on others, and and if crowd is joining you, Biafra should be very careful. To have freedom is not an easy ride. So when people are certain forces that are backing, some intentions of force and threats to, all sort of violence, and you see a court that is pursue a constitutional means to achieve that goal, we should try and reconcile the two parties so that there will be no hatred. Because being a traitor, being a betrayer, honestly, it's not a very good thing, because it draws back every vision. Let me just succumb now so that later then I can have more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fatai Okubido. We really appreciate you. The reason we brought this one is not for any special reason other than to educate ourselves and to rein everybody back to the same line. Whatever you're doing, do it right. If you're a traitor, change your ways. We're not going to accuse you of anything if you change your way. The only danger is if you don't change your way, there might be repercussion for it. So what I'm advising everybody is that try and amend. If you have a dodgy way before, try and amend it and have a better way of life, because it's not going to do you any favor if you keep being dodgy, if people label you a betrayer. So the only thing you can do is to actually get yourself together, arrange things better, and live a better life. Live a better life. Never be a betrayer, so that people don't label you. Aule, the Alaafin of Oyo, was badly betrayed. Adewoye from Germany. I know you know a lot about this one, so let us hear from you.
Aole, the Alaafin of Oyo, the father of Lamidi Adeyemi, was badly betrayed. And the king that were there, none of them support him, or none of them out of the mess. That is what brought Lamidi Adeyemi to the crown in 1972. And before I go far, Mr. Fatai said something. He said, if we tell people what happened in the past, it might open a old wound and it might bring some things out. Let me tell you this one. I don't want to talk about before, but I will say it now. Said the way Nnamdi Kanu is talking about my tribe, and it's make like we are the one that is causing the betrayal and on and on and on. Biafra that fought the war
I
has
don't
a
think we want to
supporter.
talk about Biafra now because they're not here to defend themselves. They're
Okay,
supposed to be here. So
okay,
we're just going to go to
okay,
Aule's story. Let's go for Aule's
okay.
story and deal with that one.
Okay, I'll cut it then. Aule was dethroned and he lay a curse according to what the story said. And that curse, he said, Yoruba will never understand. Let me just paraphrase it. Lamidi Adeyemi, they didn't change the race
Maybe
out
I
of
should take it away
his
from
family.
you and give it to the adults because they might be able to. I know you know a lot about it, but let me give it to this young man called
I have to
Frank
break
Bello.
it before
He's
I
got a
can
big
go.
mouth. Let's give it to him. Let's
Yeah.
hear what he wants to pour out from his big mouth. Frank Bello, over to you, sir. I'm not
Oh
lying.
dear,
His
God
mouth is
help.
big. He can say anything.
You see,
And you know what
the
people say
question of
before you continue from below. Yeah, people keep asking me, "Are we brothers?" So you need to tell them
no,
if we are brothers. Yeah.
no, no, we are not. No, we are not. In fact, people will not believe it that Mr. Ade Thomas and myself, we only got to we only got to know each other not up to a month, up to a month, is it? Yeah, but I have been there, and I just fancy exactly his struggle and my belief were on the same path. And why not, if not, give all I can, paid for it, but I stay all day on Heritage TV. It's just because of that dream, and it is that dream that Nnamdi Kanu is having to face every time he needs to talk to Biafrans and the Igbo people and many people in the eastern region. You see, freedom is not free. And if we can go through sleepless nights and we only manage to grab maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep every day, imagine what the likes of Ojukwu, Awolowo did in their own time. I think my brother there made mention of Ibadan as one of the cornerstone of the Yoruba land. Now, what people don't realize, because he said Awolowo could have easily developed Ikene in Ogun State, where he comes from. And you and I, we know for a fact that politicians of today who does not believe in giving love to their people or building their people the way they ought to build human capital development will rather cite that manufacturing or build that hotel. Politicians of today, they build hotel in their own state. Look at exactly what Rochas Okorocha did in Imo State. See the huge, vast acres upon acres of land stolen from the people of Imo State just to build himself and his wife just one bedroom that they will sleep. Fraud. Awolowo never developed anything in Ikene but the heart of Ibadan. Now, on this same show, Mr. Moderator, you will recollect that somebody did made mention of the fact that the Yoruba dictionary, we were talking about how we can develop our own language and the rest of it, and then dictionary came into the limelight or into the focus, and many people said, oh, we've got a Yoruba dictionary, to which I am still very, very adamant, because when we look at the English dictionary, the authoritative book that you can consult for the meanings of words in English language, is not published by just one man. It is published by, guess what? Oxford University Press, by collections of different words that were put up in English language by different people. Now, what most people don't realize is that Ibadan was actually meant to be the publishing activities of anything in Nigeria. That was why we've had local indigenous publishers and the multinationals stationed at Ibadan. That was why we had University Press in Ibadan, printing academic journals, monographs, and think about it, anything that's got to do with educational materials. That's why in Ibadan we had the likes of Fagbamigbe Publishers, Onibonje Publishers, Macmillans, Evans, Longmans, all of them stationed in Ibadan. Now, was it the Alawiye or something like that you brought onto the show, Mr. Moderator? It was published by Longmans. Local indigenous publishers such as Onibonje Publishers, Fagbamigbe Publishers, they are specialist publishers that publish textbooks to educate the Nigerian children, not only Western region. Have we equally forgotten that the very first vice chancellor of the University of Ibadan was not even a Yoruba man, but an Igbo man? The very first vice chancellor. There are many Yoruba professors, but they based the criteria and the qualifications based on expertise and the best candidate. That was a society that was fully functional. An Igbo man becoming the very first vice chancellor of the second best university in the Commonwealth realm. And as at that same time, that was when we had the royal families of Saudi Arabia flying into Nigeria for treatments at the same University College Hospital in Ibadan, to which an Igbo man was the vice chancellor. Who will forget all those fantastic history? Who will forget that the same man, Odumegwu Ojukwu, that fought for the liberation of Biafra in those days, to which Gowon crushed everything, was educated at King's College, Lagos, before his father sent him to Eton College the moment he slapped a white man on the streets of Lagos in Marina. Most people don't know. And that was why he ended up at Eton College. Ibadan was developed because Ibadan was the heart of Yoruba land. And that was why we had the Premier Hotel, we had the Cocoa House, we had everything stationed in Ibadan. WNTV, the first television station in Africa, Western Nigeria TV, was stationed at Ibadan. We had all these privileges. Western Nigeria, Biafra, had the potentials at the time to aspire to the Committee of Nations, because when the white people, the British, the Europeans, the Americans, when they saw the power in the South from both the East and the West, they saw well-organized, structured society and people that are determined to be extremely successful. But the point was that both the Biafrans and the Yorubas were too smart for the British. Ibadan was the real foundation, and a lot of people must now begin to see Ibadan and why, what happened. The Fulanese, they hated the Southerners so much, and that was how they started dismantling all the structures and all the regions that were already in place. As at that time, the Igbos, they moved freely between their Yoruba brothers. The Yoruba brothers were not scared to go to Igbo land. They were not scared to go to River State. They were not scared to go to Calabar, to cross River State. They were not scared to go to anywhere. The Igbo people were coming to Lagos because that was the commercial hub. And obviously, where there is business, there is money, you find an Igbo man there because that is their strength. There was no discrimination. That was the power, and that was exactly what the Fulanese broke. But in between, who did they use? They used their own people. The Fulanese, they used Igbo people to destroy everything in Igbo land. The Fulanese used the same Yoruba to destroy everything in Yoruba land. That is exactly that betrayal we are still facing today in the form Jagaban and many of those people who had already sold Southwest Nigeria to the Fulanese. We've got the Rochas Okorochas and the Rotimi Amechis. There are plenty as well in the East. These are the betrayals we're talking about. They've sold their conscience. They've sold the soul of the Biafra land and Eastern region to what? The Fulanese. I'll hand over back to you in the studio before I get too carried away.
When I said it's a talkative and it's got a big mouth, you think I was joking, didn't it? And see how he actually sealed his mouth. Brother, I'll call him Uncle. It's not even brother. I think this one is more than brother. This is actually, I'll call Uncle. Good afternoon, sir. I have to say that. Yeah. Thank you very much, Frank Bello. You are a good. I don't know. Where's Ibadan? Anybody know where Ibadan is? Because I know Ibadan, but I don't know Ibadan. We're trying to teach these guys how to speak Yoruba. Please don't come and start calling rice iresio and then resi. You see, what are you doing? Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate everybody on the platform today. I want to thank somebody single-handedly because it was a shame because the comment has run away. The person was actually thanking me, so I want to thank the person back. I want to thank every one of you for joining us. We really appreciate your presence. We really appreciate your comments, your support, because if you're not here, we can't be here. It will be boring. If you're doing this program, is only 2 people or 3 people or 5 people watching, we won't come here every day because we say nobody wants to listen to us. But because we see you in hundreds, that's why we're here. But we need to drive the figure up. At the moment, let me just see exactly what we've achieved so far. 136 people watching, fantastic. About 60 like, fantastic. But how many shares? We have 288 comments, fantastic. I have 136 people watching and only 65 shares. It means only half of the people watching are shared, or even a third. I want to comment for Tao Criminal the other day because when I say share, this man share about 48 times. And we didn't spot him because he was in the dark that day, so we didn't spot him at all. There was no light there, so we couldn't actually grab him and say, "Hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to do." Guys, can we do this one?
The light is coming. The light is coming back soon.
Okay, that's good. As long as we're not putting people in the dark, that should not be a problem.
Well.
Thank you guys for being with me. I'm gonna go to Fatai. No, let me go to Mr. Adewoye in. No. Let's go to Fatai first. Let's go to Fatai first because we go to Fatai. He's an adult as well. He's older than me. Well older than me. Maybe he's as old as Metusela. I don't know. Maybe he can give us a little bit more about the history,
How are you sure?
about the history of Nigeria. Go ahead, sir. Fatai.
Yes. Actually, we know that Ibadan is central to the Western region development. As my brother said, it was actually the starting of most of the iconic scenes that we had and we are having in a old Western region up to today. At least he made mention of the Western Nigeria television service. He made mention of we have the Cocoa House and we have so many publishers like the Fagba Amigbe's, like the a lot of those that I can't readily remember now. And many of them actually contributed a lot to the development of education in the whole Western region. Even one of my big daddies, I'm trying to remember the name now, even from my own town, was part of the leading publishers then. I'm trying to remember daddy's name now, but because of the tension that I'm having responding, so maybe later I'll remember. So many of these things.
I can try and remind you if you move back from the camera. I will try and remind you.
Okay. Sorry about that. So
Adelad Bookshop.
So we
do you know Adelad Bookshop?
No, not that.
You live in the nation.
Don't forget CMS Bookshop too.
Yeah.
I will remember. When I come back, I will remember. When I come back, when I'm up, I will remember. When I can concentrate, I will remember.
Okay,
so Ibadan is so central to the development of a Western region, and all the icons are still there. Unfortunately, when we can even know the extent with which Yoruba race is held in contempt, even when NTA was doing their 48th year anniversary, no mention was made to Western Nigeria television service. No mention was even made to Awolowo. So that such is the such is the disrespect that the people who have hijacked our destiny are even holding us. So that's the reason why we're talking about the so-called traitors, the so-called betrayers in our midst. We have so many of us who are supposed to be fighting that cause of people pushing history under the carpet, and yet they're not talking. And when people realize that, when they realize that you are taking their shit and you are sucking it, and they are trying to eat you and rob you and eat you and rob you, and when they see the extent of your resilience, they are happy to allow it to continue because they look at you as being a fool, and they know you are selling your people out, but they are happy you are doing because they are benefiting from it. So that's the reason why we must find a way to retrace history by going back to Ibadan and the role that Ibadan played, not only within the Western region. Many books were supplied, to every part of Nigeria, northern part of Nigeria, eastern part of Nigeria. Many books that we are reading were being printed in Ibadan. And that sucked the economic resources of Ibadan town. And the popularity, because nobody still mentions Ibadan as the largest city in Africa now, as it used to be referred to then, because Ibadan was actually in history then. What we are being told, Ibadan was the largest town in the entire Africa. So a lot of things that happened during that time, we are trying to bring back so that people can remember that we, in the Yoruba land, in the western part of Nigeria, we have history and we have motivation. And the template of those things that powered us into such greatness that we were able to even have television station before France and before many countries of Europe, that we were placed, I think, in a position 4 or 5 in the entire world that first was able to watch television. That alone is a very big pride that we can take today. Because let's talk about it. Even in France, we know we refer to them as the fourth world today, one of the greatest countries that is living today, even though on the blood of Africa. But at the same time, when you realize as a colonial master having a stakeholding in Africa, and for Western region to scoop a television station before it goes a long way. And it's a tragedy of fate today that Western Nigeria is what it is, a shadow of itself. And please, if we can have a vision for this land, if every Yoruba will forget about the past and bring back the old history of us being the real leaders, the Asiwajus, being the Omoluabis, when we bring all those things now to fore and we want to identify with the agitation of our new nation, I can assure you, all these things, they are spirits. Motivation is a spirit. Endowment to be able to deliver is a spirit. The spirits are still living, like I was saying last time. I said, I wonder what spirit lives in so many people in Nigeria, in Yoruba land of today. But the opportunity is not being given for that spirit to be able to come out. We have the greatest talents in Yoruba land today. But how do we identify them when we are being suppressed, when we are being deprived, when the entire rumors, our vision is being subdued, and the destiny of Yoruba land is actually buried under the carpet in Aso Rock and in the desert of the north? So the time has come down for us to wake up from our slumber and fight for a very nation of Yoruba nation, because we need it. Otherwise, history will not speak well of us in the future. Because if our generation, if we're able to face out now, because we can be able to see the past and relate to the present and plan for the future. But for many of us, by the time we are facing out now, because in another 10, 15 years, many of us, we are finished age-wise. So the generation that are coming now, they are being deprived of history. How are they going to fight for that freedom? So that freedom must come today so that we can learn from that past and bring our present to our future, so we can lay down a foundation for a progressive Western region, a well technologized Western region, with a basis for good database. And then we can start our journey as a leading force in the world economy and the world arts and in world everything. Please, Yoruba race, we are missing it. 60 years of being in Nigeria has taken us into 60 years of backwardness, and we are being sent back to that ancient time. Please, let us revive our mentality, and let's just fight this fight devoid of any acrimony or any sort of hatred. We are one. We have Yoruba blood in us. There should be no separation. We should not be saying that somebody forget about political parties now. We are talking about the future of Yoruba land. Please let us do it. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to have a go at some few people on the platform now. And the first person I want to have a go at, my sister, DRE. I'll stop there so you know yourself.
No, Dre is it.
I didn't want to say it in full. I just want to give her a coded message. Can I say something to you, Dre? Right. Tony Nnamdi, if you watch the program, I think one of the questions Olayemi Koike asked him was, Tony, will you look at me right in the eyes and tell me if you're in support of a breakaway Nigeria or you're in support of a single Nigeria? And he said, I'm in support of a breakaway Nigeria. And when we finished, I spoke to him personally. I asked him some few questions. I said, Tony, but why are you doing it the way you're doing it? You know what he said to me? He said he has to do it the right way because he lives in Nigeria. Number one, he has to do it. I'm a lawyer and I have to do it the proven way so that if anything goes wrong, these people can be crucified. And
good point.
I said to him, I didn't know you're a lawyer. And he said to me, I should go and look at it. And he sent me so much video. You know what we want to do, Dre? We want to bring everybody together and unite everybody because we have to fight this race together. You see the topic tonight: betrayers among us. We don't want to kill the betrayer. We don't want to nail them. We don't want to mock them. We want to rein them back into lines. Everybody fall back into line. We don't want no more betrayers. You know, I campaign for peace. I'm a peace lover. And I campaign seriously for peace. And I campaign for things to be done properly. And that is what I stand for. We have to do it properly. We don't want no betrayer this time around. We want everybody to be in the right line. We want everybody to do things right. And that is what we have to do. So what we're doing is education, 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 education. Thanks, Heritage TV, House of Praise. Okay. Yeah, we don't want no. Is Justin still here? Well, she has to answer that. I don't know. Anybody seen Justin? Okay, guys, let's look at some few more topics here. I pinned this one. Yes, there's one I want to say. I wonder why. Is there anybody that has a telly on with a bell going in the background? Needs to turn the telly down, man. Okay, there's a comment from Engineer Olusegun Opanu. Okay, that's what brought that one. Okay, Engineer Olusegun Opanuga said Heritage TV. No, he first of all says, I hope Heritage TV will not become a betrayer. Right? And I didn't have time to answer him, but I'm answering him now. No. I put my hand to my chest and I crossed my heart and I put one hand up. We will never be a betrayer. We will never betray this cause. And we will never betray anybody. And even if someone wants to do it wrong, we will rein them in line. We will bring them back to line. That's what we're going to do. So, and then engineer, betrayal is a Yoruba way of life. Not only Yoruba, it happens, but it happens a lot among Yoruba because I've been betrayed so many times by the people who work together. I've been betrayed so many times, but that's not a problem. The good thing is that we're still friends. Okay, then engineer Opanuga asked another question. He said, Heritage Wisdom must do a fundraising and let us say how many Yoruba will support, because you have to go and beg them to join a good cause. And maybe not necessarily with Heritage. Maybe, okay, we do a fundraising program next week. We get about 4 or 5 people. We're going to do it over a long period of time. So we're going to do it over a serious long period of time. Maybe a 2 hours program, pure fundraising. So we might start with a penny, and the next person will say, okay, I want to beat a penny, I want to beat that, I want to beat that, and then that is how we're going to do it. You do it up to any amount. So the first person will put something down and say, okay, this is what Heritage is doing, but we won't do this one. We're not advertising this, guys. We're going to put something down and say, we might even wrap it so that you don't even know what is in there. And so you guys need to bid for it. You bid for it, the price keep going up. Every price that you bid, you still pay it. If you pay, we start with a penny. So the first person said a penny, and if you're unlucky, the next person will say £10. So the penny will still pay the penny, the £10 will still pay the £10, and the next person said £11. The £11 will still pay the £11, and the final one take the final price. So, and it's gonna be a mystery price that we're going to have. So we're gonna do that. And someone responded to him and said, I hope I haven't lost it because I seriously want to read that one. Okay, I haven't lost it. And Nelson responded and said, must you be always holding negative mindset about Yoruba? Why can't we live beyond yesterday and form alliance? How long will you continue dwelling on the yesterday? We all have agreed that this platform will be used to form togetherness to fight our enemy, which is Fulani. Please stop. Okay, this is what I want to do. Nelson, I don't know how old you are, but I want you to inbox me your age. Inbox it. Don't put it on here, but inbox me your age. And I'll say what I want to say to you. But I won't wait for that to come. You know what? When an adult fall down, they look back. What makes us to fall down? When a child stumbles, maybe you want me to use the real English because fall is actually Nigerian English. Maybe when a child stumble, they look forward because they're looking for help from the front. But when an adult fall down or stumble, they look back and see what makes them to catapult, somersault. You understand? So this is what we're looking at, right? So that it doesn't happen. Why do people become betrayer? We're looking at the history now, right? So we're gonna look at the present, then we're gonna look at the future. This is what we're trying to do. I hope you understand why we're doing that. You are not one. Maybe we're not one. Our fingers are not one. That's why if you have your fingers all matched up together, then you can be one. But because we fingers cannot be one, so that is why that one. And you believe that. What did you say? You believe that, Dread? What was that? You didn't reply to that comment, so we don't know what you're saying. Was the southerner state talks too much while the northerner state are taking action? No, they're not taking action. They've been stupid. They've been stupid. We will take action. We're taking action because we have to educate. They're few. They talk. But you know what? When one of them hear one thing, they pass it on. But Yoruba people, when you hear one thing, you keep it. I told you earlier on, I said we have 100 and something people watching and we have about 60 something people shared. You're keeping the information to yourself. That's why we keep hammering it. That's why we're hammering it. So if you share it properly, it will go viral, and then you are trying to say IPO is doing it the wrong way. No. Why should we say that? Who's saying that? Nobody say that. Everybody has to do it the way they know. Heritage needs to support. Heritage needs the support of every southerner so that it will be established as all at all Yoruba states. Once everyone can hear the information, the better emphasis will be. Can I tell you one thing? We're not gonna establish in all states because it's not gonna work. You understand? What we want to do is this. The app is ready. I'm testing it as we speak. I'm testing it. I'm testing it. I'm testing it. I'm testing it. Something is missing, so I sent it back. I said there should be a podcast in there. We started with a basic app and we start modifying. We have a radio incorporated. So even if you're in Nigeria, you don't want to watch the video, you can put it in your pocket, put your earpiece on, and enjoy the show full, the radio. And when the show is not on, you can listen to our music. And again, what else again? What else again? We have the radio, we have the podcast. So like this program, when we finish, it will be there somewhere. If you want to download it, you can download it and watch it. Especially if you want to download after 12 o'clock in Nigeria, right? When the coronavirus lockdown is gone, what we want to do is to have radio station in Nigeria that is going to be private. You know, you can't have your public radio station and preach what we're preaching. They burn it down, like the fire that is in Lagos currently. They burn it down. So we're gonna have a private radio station so that people will be able to listen for free without running their data. That is what we need the money for. So, but we're not raising money tonight. We have a GoFundMe account already, but that is not a problem. I can pin it later on before we start taking. We're gonna start taking calls soon. So I don't think we will be. Thank you. I love peace. Like, oh, thank you too, my sister. Thank you. And how many Daddy Gio call for this breakup? Oh, they can't call for that. They can't call for breakup because if we break up, they make less money. Okay. Really? Not with betrayal or I know this. So, okay. Thanks you. The unity for all is the best. Let everyone come, which is fantastic. Peter Samuel, you won the prize. Everybody come with their best. If you know how to make noise, make noise. If you know how to do a green grass under the green grass, do so. But don't be a betrayer. Don't be a betrayer. Okay, should we go to Adewi in Germany? Adewi, is there anything else we want to talk about the past before we move to the future? Adewi, over to you in Germany.
Thank you very much for Mr. Studio. And to be honest with you, at this point, with the question you read last time, they read last, why did they call the Yorubas a betrayer? I need one point. I need a certain point, and I'm missing that. I think somebody needs to correct somebody on that. You're calling Yoruba
They're
a
not calling Yoruba
betrayer.
a betrayer. We're discussing betrayer. And even
Among
if someone
us,
called Yoruba betrayer,
but
are we not betrayer?
everybody call Yoruba betrayer, which we are not betrayer. Let's get this one straight. We are not betrayer. If we are betrayer, the first election that happened between Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Sir Ahmadu Bello will not be betrayed by Nnamdi Azikiwe by selling out to Sir Ahmadu Bello. Who sold out? Who gave election to the North? Is it Yorubas? No, it's not Yorubas.
We don't want to
They
go
give
that
election to
route.
the North, they take it to the North, and they give it to the North with their
Mr.
hand.
Dewiye.
And
Mr.
everybody see my
Dewiye.
people as a
Can
betrayer. Where the betrayer coming?
I rein
I'm
you in
hearing
on
you,
that
sir.
one, sir? Can I rein you on that one?
Yeah,
We don't want
yeah,
to go. We don't want
yeah.
confrontation. We want to make peace. You understand? These people, our
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yes, we talk about the past, but we talk about the past in a subtle way, not in an anger way. You are getting angry and you're
No, no,
getting it wrong there.
no, I'm not.
Look,
I'm actually,
someone
I'm not
offended
really
me
getting
today
angry,
that
but
makes me very, very angry.
I
But I'm
don't
still not
know
angry with him.
why we are calling betrayer, because I didn't see anywhere Yorubas has betrayed anybody from what they want, or except we are being betrayed for what we want. Okay, Awolowo said, I will probe everybody that been in the government before. If I get the power to become Nigerian prime minister, I will probe everybody. And that is his word that make everybody begin to scared of him, and they cannot give him the power to rule the country and build the country that we want.
Can I say something to
He
you quickly?
said,
Awolowo can
no,
say that. But when he says that, I
yeah.
think it's a stupid talk. And I'll tell you why I call it stupid talk. Daddy Awolowo, wherever you are, even or wherever, I'm sorry for saying that. Don't come and beat me in the night. Right? But sometimes you keep your action, what you want to do, you keep it underneath. Because if you divulge it, people might use it against you, and that is the problem. We're gonna take it away from you quickly, and we're gonna go for a quick
uh,
break.
let me just say this. One
Okay,
second. Let me
say
just say
that,
this,
say that.
please.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Mr.
Um,
Moderator, can I
the
please chip in a little bit?
Okay,
Can I
let
please
Shola
chip in?
finish. Let Fanash finish his own, then you can chip in.
okay.
Go ahead, Shola.
Let me just say this. I want them to just do us a favor to meet in the middle. They should just forget about calling anybody a betrayer, a disappointment, or anything. Let's meet in the middle. Let everybody swallow everything that has happened in the past. Let's use our stomach to contain it all and forget the past and project for the future. The word betrayer, they should take it out of their mouth. Everybody in Nigeria, whether to the west, whether to the east, whether to the west or the east or the south or the central, the word betrayer should be taken out of everyone's mouth. Everyone should say it, and should say what is right towards his neighbor. Say what is right towards your friends. Say what is right towards the people that you are going to be alliance with. Because what you need now is mind, faithfulness, truthfulness, and to be able to have an atom of trusting each other. At least if it's a small thing like a mustard seed, trust. We started building that from now. The
Okay,
word betrayer,
I'm gonna
everybody
take
to
it away
take it
from
away
you
from their
quickly.
mouths.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you,
Before
sir.
I give it to
Thank you. Back to you.
to Frank Bello, who is my senior brother. Look at him. We look alike, so much alike. I don't know what happens. My mother or my father must have been naughty. Look, the only difference is that I didn't have a bald head yet. Maybe when I grow up to his age, maybe I'm going to have a bald head. I hope my wife will not beat me for saying I want a bald head. Go ahead, Uncle Frank.
Yes. Yeah, I think we need to put a little bit of clarity into the issue that the young gentleman raised about war and the 1979. Now, the 1979, number one, dated back, the betrayal of that 79 was dated back many years. And what most people don't know, I will break it down again on this platform. I gathered from reliable sources. Underscore, I gathered from reliable sources that MKO and OBJ were both classmates at the secondary school in Abeokuta. Both of them, they sat their exams, their GCE at the same time. Both of these two, Obasanjo and MKO Abiola, they are from the poor background, not rich family. Between the two, one passed exceedingly well in exams. MKO had distinctions. OBJ, Obasanjo, failed. Chief Obafemi Awolowo was the man that was in charge of awarding scholarships for Oduduwa children, Yorubas, wanting to study abroad or in Nigeria. Western Nigeria government scholarship. The two results of Obasanjo and Moshood Abiola were presented to the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo at the time. People wanted Baba Awolowo to award the scholarship to Obasanjo, but Baba Awolowo, in his own wisdom, despite the fact that he knew nothing of the parents or any affiliation to any of these two candidate students that were to gain the Western Nigeria government scholarship, decided in his own wisdom to award the scholarship to the best candidate who passed. And Baba Awolowo painted an argument by saying, how on earth can him award a scholarship to a failure, a school start failure, and somebody who excelled well with his results? So MKO was awarded the scholarship to study accountancy in Scotland. And that was the beginning of MKO Abiola's blissful journey into a successful career. I'm not going to go into other issues and other details. That was when Obasanjo ended up in the military. If you see a Yoruba son who ended up in the military at the time, they are the rascals of the society because they failed. And as such, society had already pegged them. Thank God for the likes of my late father, who gave opportunities to some of those later on in years for them to excel. But Obasanjo was relegated to the military. And that was how he enrolled in the military. And he rose in rank. And then the war equally assisted him to rise in rank. Now, Chief Obafemi Awolowo never knew the guy. He failed to award the scholarship that they were begging him will equally become an impromptu military head of state after Muhammad. The man, MKO, who got the scholarship was part and parcel of the people that actually betrayed Chief Obafemi Awolowo and then side his own pitch or pitch tent with the Fulanis. The same MKO was the man that actually imported from New York the late Delegiwa and then established the National Concord and the Sunday Concord. I'm not going to go into the details of Doyin Abuaba and Delegiwa at the National Concord and why Delegiwa left Concord to set up Newswatch and only to be killed later in a letter bomb. I've spelt that out. I'm not going to go into that. Now, 1979, Awolowo knew the fraud. The late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, clever man, knew the fraud that was perpetrated in the 2 years or 3 years, 2 years of Obasanjo. He took over 13th of February, Friday. I'll never forget that date. Friday, the 13th day of February 1976. The very day Murtala Mohammed was killed in a bloody coup by Lieutenant Colonel Buka Suka Dimka. I remembered. Now, 1979, Baba knew the fraud and how Obasanjo chopped Nigeria's money. But because election was coming and because Obasanjo was not comfortable at the seat of power, the Fulanis were ruling. Obasanjo had no choice but to quickly conduct election and hand over back to another Fulani man. Let's not go into the issue of the deputy that was pushed to him, Shehu Musa Yaradoa, as the chief of staff, Supreme Headquarters. Don't let us go into that. So the fraud that was perpetrated before Obasanjo handed power over to Fulani was what Baba Awolowo said he will probe the moment he gets to power. Once again, who betrayed the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo? The Easterners were not among, because the equation of that election changed with the other political parties, such as Amino Kano's, was it PRP? And we've got Alhaji Waziri Ibrahim from Maiduguri. I think his party was GNPP, Great Nigerian People's Party. And we've got Zeke's party in the East as well. It was a totally different equation, because then it was a case of the East wants to hold on to the East and the West wants to hold on to the West. But then and again, what happened? People in the likes of the same man that Awolowo awarded scholarship to study was the one that actually betrayed him and then teamed up with the Fulanis, used Delegiwa. And what ended Delegiwa? Delegiwa was equally killed. Who killed Delegiwa? We're not going to go into that story, because we all know. Because they got him. And when Delegiwa was murdered, who were the two people at that bedside? MKO Abiola and Chief Segun Oshoba. Who was Chief Segun Oshoba at the time? Chief Segun Oshoba was the managing director of Daily Times Nigeria, who controlled Daily Times Federal. Over to you at the studio.
Bello, my brother, my very brother. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate you staying with us. We appreciate everything you're doing, because, like I said, without you, there is no us. But the only thing is that you're still not sharing. Come on, you're not sharing this program. Yeah, someone said you're not sharing, and for real, you're not actually sharing. 132, 87 shares. Only half people have shared. But still, thank you very much for that. We really love you for what you're doing. We're gonna move forward quickly. I'm going to Babangida killed the leg. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's your opinion. Babangida killed the leg. Okay. Okay. So the present days, present Eritrea, people like uh somebody was saying some people are Ashiwaju earlier on, which is Fatai Okribido. Ashiwaju, are they meant to be betrayer, Mr. Fatai Okribido? Because you mentioned Ashiwaju. I don't know what you mentioned Ashiwaju for again, but you mentioned Ashiwaju. Are they meant to be betrayer? Over to you, Mr. Fatai.
I think you misunderstood me. I said Asiwaju, that is as Yoruba is Asiwaju Niwa, that is we are leaders.
Yeah,
But I'll still go
leaders
to
that betray. Is that what you mean?
definitely every race, every group, every organization do have they do have their traitors, they do have their betrayers. And if I have to speak about Asiwaju, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, frankly speaking, I explained this earlier on when I came in that we all see things differently. By virtue of birth and nature and endowment, we are all gifted differently. There are people who see things differently from the way you see it, and they could be wrong. There are people who see things differently the way you see it, and they could be right. But in the case of of us, many of us who wanted a better life for their communities, they could be taking a course that could be wrong without knowing. For instance, let us visit what happened in 2015. The reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu think APC was good for him and for for the Southwest was because he was given the opportunity, a free hand to actually uh, choose the vice president as a leader in that party. Those that are predators of Yoruba land, they know the best way to put us against us. They use all political means to make sure that they bring us closer, only to use us to be dumped. This is where wisdom comes in. This is where spirituality comes in. And I would have thought that a person of Tinubu's caliber, as a force in Yoruba race, as a true leader that he is, as a true maker of men that he is, should be having a better and higher spirit of discernment, whereby he could have at least understood what will happen during the first 4 years of APC between 2015 and 2019. By virtue of his placement as a Yoruba leader, he has all the means to understand where will the Yoruba race head during that regime. We have got so much talent us with powers that will be able to discern and understand what might be happening in the future. But if we have a leader who can misguide himself through lack of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, or through self-ambition, is leading millions into a pit of destruction, definitely everybody said that those people mean well for Yoruba race. Because at the end of the day, the election came, he won the election for them, and yet they dished him into the dustbin of that party. And when election was now a year away, they went and revived him as being relevant. And what happened? There was the issue of his birthday being celebrated. They called him the colloquium of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They invited everybody to Lagos. It was celebrated. And then Ulrich exchanged hands to his son. And all of a sudden, the 4 years of betrayal, which was met to him, the 4 years of humiliation, deprivation, the 4 years of complete dustbin dump was forgotten. Just for the sake of being honored. And the honor was given as a means of driving him closer so that it could be used for the election in the next year, as the election was only a year when the colloquium was held. And what happened? He came to the fore again, forgetting all the outbreak he went through. Even there was the case of some leaders of APC meeting sometimes 3 years ago, and people were agitated. Where is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the leader of APC? Buhari was so bold to say, no, APC has got no any other leader but me. I am the leader of APC. He boldly said it to the entire world, rubbishing and actually putting into dustbin the image and the name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said, go and Google it, is there. It was a gathering of who is who or who was who in APC. And if a leader of Yoruba race that he is could be so treated, and he never learned from the history of his being made so irrelevant, despite putting these people in power, and yet 2019 came, he didn't learn. How do you want these people to respect Yoruba race? They look at us as being fools, as people who never learn from history. So if they want to overrun us now, it's because leadership that we are parading, they are wrong leaders for us. So that's the reason why whatever we are doing at the moment, people are pushing these things forward, that let us get our freedom so that at least we can start our own program of development of our region. Look back 60 years. What can the Yoruba race point to as achievement? Yomi Koiki was shown a village where he was actually interviewing some two boys about 3-4 days ago. When you look at the background of that interview, you will see a partially tarred road. And I knew that road must have dated back to 1950s. The road that Awolowo had. That is along the road in that village. So you can see, what can we be boast of today? Where is the water? Where is the pipe-borne water? Where is electricity? Where is infrastructure development? Where are they? In fact, when the government left Lagos, when Babangida left Lagos, for more than 8 to 10 years, nobody looked back. Lagos was almost in complete dilapidation until Fashola came. Or was it Tinubu that came and started rebuilding it? They completely used Lagos and dumped it. And it was never relevant to them again. So all these things, we are not saying this because we hate anybody. All these things could be having some traces of betrayal and traitors. If you don't have the consensus of people, carry them along for a vision. And the vision you are having is only for you to be able to achieve your life ambition. Then you are a traitor to your own people. That's the reason why today, this majority of Yoruba people who really mean well for Yoruba race, they are silent because of the way they are being treated from the central. Only those who are not really powerful are being given the power. They are not this voice of Yoruba race. There is no politics in Nigeria. What we have in Nigeria is business. Maybe a group of community putting somebody across, go and represent us there, and they contribute money for him to do the election. After winning the election, they get to the Senate, and all they are doing at the Senate is just blackmailing companies, multinationals, so that they can bribe them, so that they won't give them they won't get blacklisted. All this is what is happening. Nobody is discussing about how our region is going to be developed. This is the reason why we cannot push away the fact that there are traitors among us who are pushing us back through sellout. Only for billions being made in oil rig now, the entire race of over 70 million people are being put in jeopardy. Their life is being put in jeopardy. The youths are wasting away. They are being destroyed. Okada riders in Nigeria, in Lagos, most of them are graduates, master degree holders, but they need their life. So is this how we are going to continue? What is the posterity going to talk about us in future as Yoruba race? What the other Yoruba community in the entire world, in Venezuela, in Haiti, in Trinidad and Tobago, in Brazil, how are they perceiving us as their own front, as the root that they have? So Yoruba is bigger than Africa. We must find a line. We must find a foundation now for a virile, a fruitful, a progressive, a decisively, aggressively, glory-seeking nation. not just want a wood of ourselves that we are, a shadow of what we are at this moment.
I'm sure
In the
this man
holiday,
is
we are
going to
talking
get a
about over
yellow card or a
154
red card.
different
This man is going
companies.
to get a red card.
Oduduwa
Who
group of
wants to
companies
come
for
in?
over 154.
Mr. Femi Babalala, I'm going to send you a code because we need to push this man out. He's got yellow card last week and he's getting yellow card again tonight. You just need to get one more yellow card and it will be out of the show. Thank you guys for
I'll be glad so I can have my early sleep tonight. No problem. Anyway,
no,
I rest the case for now.
If you get a yellow card, you're not gonna go to bed. You're gonna make you stand behind the camera there and start watching the camera. Thank you, guys. I really thank everybody commenting Heritage Television. We're in this together. It's not only Heritage Television. I thank you guys as well for spending your time, your precious time, watching the program. I'm gonna pin the GoFundMe meeting down underneath there so that you guys can actually support now before you leave the show, so that I know you're supporting. And thank you. You've driven the share up drastically. These guys here are very, very good people. You know why? When I say share, you guys just go there and share. And the only thing is that the people that come online before I've moved the goalposts, how many shares we have now? 135 people. And how many shares? 111 shares. So you still need about 30 shares more to be balanced in the right direction. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I really like you. Nelson Judith, Hello Heritage TV, nice job. You guys are doing a great work. Kudos. Now I want to correct the impression by some people. If we need truth and serious eager to leave Nigeria, good. But just a typographic error. Just ask the media circles to say come on through and report news and TV straight and reject lies. Okay. If you live in Nigeria, you go and report something. If you're a newspaper, you go and report something straight. You find out you run out of newsprint and they will not give you money to buy more and your paper will die. So they can't say the truth that much. They can only say the truth to a certain level in Nigeria because they are under the spell of the government. Can I tell you one thing? This program is available on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Periscope. Please share as much as you can, and we seriously love you. Wow. How did you do that? I said 130 now, and you're just bringing up to 142. So instead of 20, you need about 35 more to be in line, and then we're gonna be good. Okay. We're gonna move on to the present, or we're in the present now. But before we do the present, maybe we shouldn't even do the present today. We just talk. I talk about the future, and we open the line because I really want to hear your voice. You make my day when you guys call. So well done, Gina Mima. Thank you very much for saying that. Justin Noah, you should be answering my calls today. They should behead. Oh, don't behead. No. That is bad. I'm going to add that comment. We don't want to behead anybody. We just want to educate them. Why are we gonna behead somebody for? That's evil. No. We cannot behead anybody. We're just gonna educate people, and that's the maximum we're gonna do. Okay, guys, I'm gonna say the number. I'm gonna pin the number for some few minutes because I really want you guys to support Heritage TV tonight. So I'm gonna pin the number for some few minutes. If you need to call, this is your opportunity to write the number down. If you don't write it down in some few minutes, I'm gonna take the number away from there. So remember, WhatsApp calls only. If you call normal calls, you're not gonna get through. Otherwise, we're not going anywhere with it. So the future suggestion. Don't come. I don't want to have anyone call and complain. How can we stop people from betraying next time? The major part of it is educating the people, letting them know that betraying does not pay. Otherwise, it spoils the future for everybody. I got my first caller on the line. Oh, sorry, I lost him. I'm so sorry, Uncle. I'm sorry. before I finish, you run away. I don't know what to do. Yeah. Okay. I think I know what to do. I'll probably call you back because I'm sure you've been waiting for so long. And if you don't love us, you won't call. So, okay. Thank you for calling back, yourself. Uh, hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir. What can we do for you? Your name and where you are calling from, sir.
Yes, my name is Morris Nelson Effiong. I'm calling from US.
Thank you, Morris.
Yes, sir. First of all, I want to appreciate you for the work that you guys are doing for us, and we can appreciate that. And I want to thank Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank
Single-handedly.
is an
Single-handedly thank you, Mr. Frank. What did he give you? Did he give you bribe or did he give you a data card? Or you don't need data from America anyway?
no, not really.
Okay,
You know
thank you.
what? Honestly, how do you know a man? A man is the guy that will say the truth even when it doesn't favor him. I listened to him when they were talking about betrayal or no betrayal. If you watch the comment section, when the betrayal came up, everybody's antenna rose up. They thought the Igbos were talking about against the Yorubas. And that's the reality, that's the truth. Even my uncle that spoke, he was already getting agitated and get angry already until you calm him down.
Which one was your uncle?
But the guy that was talking, the guy you calm down, that was already agitated.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I was one that the person that talked about betrayal was Engineer Olusegun Openuga.
Yeah.
He was one that talked about betrayal, but he didn't know who was talking about betrayal. He thought that the Igbos were talking about Yoruba being betrayal. So immediately he flared up.
Yeah.
So here's what I have to say here, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Honestly, if we continue remembering yesterday, it will be difficult for us to move forward.
That's correct, sir.
What we are looking for is how we're going to get out from this danger that every one of us is. We are seeing danger coming to our houses today.
Thank you, sir.
We are seeing danger every second. And instead of us to be playing a blame game against each other, why don't we bury our yesterday and forge alliance and move on and save ourselves from this danger? Let me say this to us. When Fulani man in the northern part want to kill, for example, they're looking for Igbo man. Every southerner is Igbo man. That is truth. When they come down to shoot people down there, when they're raping our women and destroying our farm and killing everybody, they don't know Igbo, Yoruba, and this, that. They're killing anybody. So why don't we do this? Why don't we bury our yesterday and move on and be able to achieve what we are looking for? There is danger. There is danger ahead. And it pains me, it breaks my heart that people are not seeing it. We are there playing ethnic cards without seeing the danger that is coming. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother Morris. Yeah, please. You know when you put the phone down now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go to the pin comment. I've pinned the GoFundMe there. Go and support with whatever you have. Support the show. Thank you very much, sir.
Definitely.
I hope I will see you again tomorrow or soon again, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you
so
much.
You're welcome. Okay, so we've done that one. Okay, I think I have a double voice. Okay, we have the next caller, which is a very good thing. People are doing what is expected of them. Hello, sir. Good evening, good morning, good anytime. Where you calling from and your name, sir?
Yeah, good evening, sir. My name is Samson Atanda. I'm calling from London.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yes. I just want to correct an opinion from the man from Germany.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The man from Germany thought that when we talk about betrayal, we are talking about Yoruba being betrayers. But what the topic of today is the betrayer among us. The betrayers among us are not the betrayer as a Yoruba. I just want to get that clear first. And once the man from Germany have an understanding that we are talking about betrayers among us, number one, we know them. They know themselves. And if we cannot identify them and agree together at this level, how then do we bring them together to come to us? I want everybody listening to this program or watching this program to realize that from time immemorial, from time of Awolowo, there has been betrayers. The judge, okay, let's start from the Inspector General that arrested Awolowo was a Yoruba. That's I think something Adewusi, the Inspector General of that time, Adewusi. The judge that judged him and sent him to prison was a Yoruba. The chairman of the party, the opposition party.
Mr. Tonda, can you do us a favor? Can you turn your system down behind you, please? Yeah? Turn it down.
Okay, sir. Just 1 second. Let me do that. I'm trying to do that. Just give me 1 second.
No problem.
I will turn that off. Yes.
Okay.
That's off now.
No, it's back again. Okay, that's better, yeah? Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead now, sir.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, let us concentrate on the topic of the day rather than beating around the bush. So our man from Germany, please understand that what we are talking is the betrayers among us are not the Yoruba being a betrayer. But my question to Mr. Frank, number one, is how do we get in touch to this betrayer? And what can we do for this betrayer to join this propaganda that the Yorubas are ready to be a nation? They betrayed, but the consequences, the effect that they got is part of what they get themselves being dumped by those who they used them. We all know the history of Tinubu, who wanted to be a president and sold the whole Yoruba for his own take. How then do we come together and realize that we have common goal, we have common aims and objectives? And then my take home from this is that who are Yorubas? Because if you ask an Ijebu man, Ijebu will tell you that he has nothing to do with karaoke. And an Ijebu man thought is wiser than any other Yoruba man. And they forgot that when we are talking about even the Yorubas, the Arauke are much more.
Okay, I'm going to take it away from you because I don't want you to mention anybody.
No, I'm not mentioning.
This man on the line now is going to be teaching betrayer on Tuesday, 5 o'clock. So come and listen. I think it's 4 o'clock. He's teaching betrayer on Tuesday on Heritage Television, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Ministry Clinic. Come and listen to him. I'm going to take it away from him. Thank you very much, sir, for calling. Yeah. God bless you. We'll see you. Make sure that's your topic on Tuesday. Bye-bye, sir.
Bye.
Hello, sir. Uncle. Thank you for bearing with me. I know you've been on the line for so long. Thank you very much, sir. Your comment, sir. I think I probably lost him. So let's go for him again quickly. Let me go for him because this man has been on my case since. Okay. I'm calling him back now because this man has been calling since about 7:30. He wants to be on the program. We just need to do it right. Guys, I haven't seen any notification about the GoFundMe I pinned underneath there. You need to start doing it. Go ahead, sir. Your name, your question, where you're calling from, sir.
Yeah, good evening, my brothers. Yeah, I'm calling from Bremen, Germany. My name is Chukwemeka Anyukaf.
Go ahead, sir. Your advice, your contribution, sir.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you people for creating this platform for us to be able to.
Thank you for listening to us as well, sir.
Educate those that doesn't have the possibility like us, and more especially those back home. I've been following the discussion this evening about the topic is about betrayal. But I think something we should follow the topic somehow different because many people does not understand what the topic is really about. And like many callers said, or like the man that was talking before the last person, the young man with cap that said is from that is also from Germany.
Should we vote him out? Should we vote him out? Should we vote the man out?
Yeah?
Let me show his face. If you guys tell me to vote him out, I'll vote him out now. Go ahead. 1 second. Let's go back to him. Yeah? Just stay there.
I think since we have the opportunity to live in a free environment where people have free speech, I think that's the most important thing.
So you said we shouldn't vote him out, yeah?
He should be able to aid out.
Uncle, wait. You're saying we should not vote the man out?
I'm not saying we should vote him out. I'm saying
I'm asking you, should we vote him out?
Okay, are you people calling for a vote to vote the young man out before I was connected?
I'm asking you to decide what we're going to do for him. Do you want us to vote him out? Yes or no?
Okay, the man should not be voted out.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. It means what we're doing on this platform is working.
Yes. Everybody should have the opportunity to say his opinion. We are here to unite ourselves to fight one common enemy.
Thank you very much.
Enemy we have there back home that are holding 2 million people down as slaves.
Thank you very much. I am happy that we're doing the right stuff. Uncle, what's your name?
My name is Chukwemeka Anyora Okafo. I'm calling from Bremen, Germany.
I see. Maybe because you are both from Germany.
Yes, no, it's not just. I was in a section today where you were interviewing a chief.
Yeah.
But I have to go to work.
Yeah.
So and I was following the program like for an hour. So when I was put through, before I could continue, I couldn't continue because of the work I'm doing. So I left. So I promised that.
Uncle, could you hold on 1 second? Could you hold on 1 second? Matthias?
Yes.
Matthias, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you for joining. I know you personally, and I never know you watch Heritage. I hope you remember me. Thank you, Matthias, for watching. If you remember me, just give me a thumb up, yeah? Thank you. Continue, sir.
So, like I was saying, sir, I think the biggest problem we have in Africa or in Nigeria right now is that most people does not even know what is happening right now. It's just like the way my name is Chukwemeka Okafo. Many of us have our name, and those names represent our heritage. And one day, a man dies. I'm just trying to imagine how if that thing could happen in an environment I'm living here the last 26 years. If a black man can come like in Bremen and pick many regions here together and give them a name, and we as those that call themselves Nigerians, they are not even angry that a white person came and gave you people name. You don't know the meaning of that name. A German man told me Niger area, where they find the biggest numbers of black people, niggers that they needed. And we are having this name. Those Africans that were a little bit smart, after the colonial time, they changed their names. That's everybody. Go back to your region. People should rule themselves by themselves. Before these people came, we all lived in peace. We had intermarriage. There were no war. There were nothing.
Okay.
But we have this mindset that we don't give a damn about our history. It's only black man that doesn't ask questions. And let's say we thank God now that the white people make it possible that we have this social media and all these things. Most of us are so ignorant to even go and find out. They told you that a black person is the first human being on earth that God created. Okay, good. Without most of us our age, you can then not reason if we are the first human being God created. How come? That means we are the only witness, the first witness that saw God. How come foreigners are bringing different religions to divide us? Some people will come and tell you, oh, Nigeria is God that created Nigeria. Which God? Which God created Nigeria? Go back to history and look at the map. Before 1884 and 1885 Berlin Conference, where they put Africa down like a cake and divide it in Berlin. Nobody taught us that in school. And most of us here that are discussing here and there, the history you read is the one they get down there in Africa, in Nigeria. Most of them don't really know what happened. They don't give a damn. They don't care. Ignorance. And then those of them that call themselves politicians, they have money. They run around like criminals, with those like criminals following them up and down the way we see them here in Europe, calling themselves security. My local government chairman here in this city, I can go and see him anytime I want. So I know where all those people live. The politicians say, you see them. They move around with their bicycle, you see them.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to take it away from you, sir. I'm gonna take it away from you, sir. I really appreciate you. Please remember the GoFundMe. Make sure you support us and keep the fire burning. I really appreciate you. I hope you're gonna call again tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. Okay, I think we're doing the right thing. Matthias, I'm still waiting. If you don't give me a thumb up, I will get you into trouble. You make sure you give me a thumb up. Yeah. God bless you, sir. Okay, and there's some few people that called before now as well. If you don't have your picture or your profile picture, you need to put it there so that I can speak to you. Okay. Go ahead, sir. Omar, yeah. Good evening, sir. Your name, where you're calling from, and your advice. You're not asking questions, advice, and make it short. Adiola. Thank you for calling, yeah? Are you a friend to Frank Bello?
Sorry?
Are you a friend to Frank Bello?
I am one of his disciples.
I know, because I heard the name and I thought, you must be.
I am one of his disciples. You see, the issue I want to talk about, Mr. Bello mentioned a few of them, is about this traitor you're talking about.
Yeah.
Traitors are inevitable in every situation. You can't do without them. But the only thing is we learn how to handle and manage them. Yoruba adage say, Olofofo yera abasoro awo.
You miss it. Afe soro awo.
Oh, afe soro awo, yeah, thank you. You see, thank you for that. You see, the point is this. We need them around us. They are critics. You understand?
Yeah.
And they strengthen us. But we learn how to manage them. If we can't manage them, that's where the problem is. Nigeria history keep repeating itself. What happens between Awolowo and Aketola? What happens, like Mr. Bello said, when Obasanjo betrayed the man that's supposed to save us from this mess? What happened when Abiola created National Concord against Awolowo? You understand? So these are the things. And then Tinubu was Abiola's disciple. So what do we expect from Tinubu? They were all carrying Awolowo's name, but they are not acting in the true nature of Awolowo. They are all using Awolowo's name to achieve their goals. And for everything they are doing, they have their reason anyway. Like Mr. Bello will say, is it avarice? Is what he calls it. This is the problem. So we need to manage them. We can't avoid them. Let's forget about this Igbo or Yoruba. We all have traitors in our midst.
That's true.
Even in our household, they are everywhere. Yeah, but we need to learn how to manage them. When we talk about sensitive things, we keep them aside. When we get what we want to get, when we get to where we are going, they will come along. They will confess their sin. But one thing they don't understand is no matter how wealthy they are novice. Because there's always a law of karma. I'm sorry to say this in public. What happens to Abiola? What happens to Akitola? You understand? They betrayed us and they paid for it. Abiola jumped into trouble twice. When his wife went to Ogun State to contest for governorship or was in Australia, he lost. And Imari Biko told him point blank that that MPN presidency was not for sale. After he had spent the whole money he had then, they said MPN presidency was not for sale. He left. Then second time again, he went for presidency, president candidate under SDP, and he failed. You see the problem?
Uncle, I'm gonna take it out of you from there because you run out of time on your time. Thank you for coming today.
Let's learn how to manage them. Let's see how it goes. But everything's going to be well, I'm very sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye bye, sir.
All right then. Bye.
Thank you everyone for getting involved. We really appreciate you because you are the one that is flying this mantle. Without you, there is no horse. Definitely. Without you, there is no horse. Let's get this lady on the phone. She's one of another disciple of Frank Bello, I believe, or maybe. Never can tell. Frank Bello is a. Thank God it's not Jesus, because if it's Jesus, it will have more than 12 disciples. Okay, that one didn't answer. We're gonna take it away from that one because someone has just called again. Let's answer this guy from Nigeria. Young man, your name, where you're calling from, and your contribution. No question, contribution. Your name is Victor, and you are from Ekiti. Wow.
Ekiti State, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody that have been helping us to set us free from the bondage we suddenly found ourselves into. My contribution is simple, like one of the callers said. One of our problem that I've highlighted, I'm a young man, and for my little this I spend on Oduduwa land as a Oduduwa boy. I discovered that we don't make research. We, like they said, we accept everything that we are being told. We made effort as usual as we are to ask questions from our elders, even from elders concerning our culture, concerning our religion, concerning our we have some culture that we had in the olden days, and we try to ask questions why we abolish those cultures and why we permit all these foreign this thing to take over our cultural value. But one thing that we discover that is the level of our primitiveness here is very, very high. Please, and that's why the issue of sensation and the harp and everything that you are trying to do for us, I believe it's going to help us, because our awareness here in Nigeria, a lot of people here, I'm trying to tell them about heritage. I'm trying to tell them about the movement. I'm trying to tell all the guys here, but we are not aware of all this. Many of us go to social media to do other things different from what you guys are doing here now.
You don't want
so we are not aware.
You want me to say it? What you go to social media to?
So we are not really, we don't bother to ask. You ask them why is it there, and they are looking at you as why are you asking this question, even when you ask your parents. But this is when you ask, when you read the Bible and you fall back to them. I just know something about the Bible that is being given to us, that the Bible even speak more of our history than the foreign. And there's a particular saying that if you want to keep something for a black man, write inside the book and give it to them. The question that comes out, what has he written inside the book and give it to us? We begin to make a lot of research, and we've made a lot of findings. There's no support for this, and that's why I want to thank everybody, Mr. Frank, you, and everybody, Mr. Koiki, and everybody that has been working. Yeah. That's why I'm to run on the vote of thanks, and I want you to continue. I pray to Heavenly Father to continue to help you guys in this pursuit, and you're going to achieve the greatest dream in Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
We really appreciate you. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Okay, I've changed it. You asked me to give them warning, Engineer Maxwell. I will not say your time is up. I will always give warning. I said to you guys, this program is about everybody, not about us, not about you, about everybody. You ask for what you want, you've gotten it, yeah? So I will always give them some few bit of a warning before their times run out. And I might probably buy something within the next few weeks to get it. Coronavirus figures are out. The SAT figure, the SAT score is out. It's good. She's calling back now. Go ahead. Your name, where you're calling from, and tell us if you're a disciple of Frank Bello as well. And then your
how do you know? I am Deborah Joyce Alade.
God bless you. Your question and where
Yeah, I hope you are treating my Frank well.
Yeah.
You can see he answer a lot of questions well. He's the lecturer on Facebook.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Lecturer.
Yeah, he's the lecturer. Yeah. You know what? I will just say one thing there before I say this thing about Heritage TV.
Be careful about what you want to say, because what you want to say.
Okay. Now we are talking about betrayal in Nigeria, all over Nigeria, in the villages, our uppers, our Ichoye, Zichoye, they call it in Yoruba. Ovie in my language, King in Igbo land, all over, even they too, they have betrayers. In that place, you see
not all of them, some of them.
No, nearly all of them. They are also selling land to the Fulanis. They are selling, yes, all of them are the same. There's no place you go to, even though Abiola, everybody loves Abiola. Abiola to betray somebody. Everybody, there's betrayal everywhere. So if we are saying that Igbo, Yoruba, even we can go and see Yoruba, go sell Yoruba for Yoruba. You go sell them for Fulani. Everybody is selling each other. All we should be thinking, like there's a word you said, love supersedes anything. I don't know, I love loving people. So if we love ourselves, we should forget whether they betrayed somebody years ago. Those are past things.
Okay,
Let us think about that.
That's enough of the one you want to say. The second thing you want to say,
The second one I want to say. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that there's not enough crowd on this Heritage TV. This is the place to be. I'm so surprised. This place, you get everything into one. You get Biafra, you get Oduduwa, you get everything that you need. So people,
we get Sinaloni.
This is the best place to be. So why are we 107? We should be more than this. Frank Bello is here. When Frank Bello is here, every crowd should be here.
You know, my brother Simon is on as well. And
that's what I want to tell you. I want to tell you that why not let's make it in a way so that you won't be colliding with him. No, that's why everybody's moving there.
We're not colliding. He has his own crowd. Some people will be with him and some people will be with us. It's not about numbers. It's about changing mentality and orientation. You see the gentleman, Mr. Shikwe Maker, when I said, should we vote the gentleman with cap out? And he said, no. We don't have to.
No, don't put him out. No. See, don't put. Can I just say something again, please? I watched Tony Nadi interview. Yeah, I have to say. See one thing I always say. Everybody, they've got their own. Let me say their own mind. We cannot all be in the same thinking. You know, everybody wants Oduduwa. Everybody wants Biafra. We cannot all be the same. There are those people that still believe in one Nigeria. So I'm not saying that I believe in that, but I'm saying that we should respect everybody's opinion. We shouldn't say because this person wants one Nigeria, then we should attack them. I don't like it.
Okay. How many people did you invite today to the show?
I shared it all. I don't lie. I've not invited anybody today, but I'm going to do that straight away now.
And you see where I pinned the GoFundMe meeting as well. You should go there, even if it's only £1. Okay. Even if it's only £1, let it start going and share the link for people to even if it's 50p, $1, anything.
No, I will do that. I'll do that now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Frank, take care, Frank.
Okay, Frank, they said take care. Frank, I'm gonna tell your wife soon. Thank you, guys. We're gonna have to go to my brother Olayomi Koiki. Unfortunately, I've not been able to introduce him today. He has come with the sad figures. We don't call it score anymore. We call it sad figures because it's actually sad to see people died. Olayomi Koiki, introduce yourself to the new people in the group today and fire on.
Very, very good evening to all our panels. In as much as you know, we are regular faces, and I also say good evening to my other brother there. I've listened to you as well, and good evening to our audience around the world. Um, are you not enjoying this kind of new media where you can interact, where you can call in, where your opinion is heard regardless of how or where it's heading to? You won't get this in any other mainstream media. And that is the more reason we don't have to be telling you, because we want you to participate. We want this media to be something that will take that message home. And I say tonight, before I go into the figure, we will definitely all get that Oduduwa and the Biafra that we want. It's a moving train. There will be betrayers. But one thing I have to tell those that are really watching us is there's a lot of work out there to do. This is not child's play. This is not a child's play. How many people do you speak to in your own community about what Heritage TV is doing? How many people do you send the message to? You all send the blockchain of prayers. This is now the blockchain. And if you think the mainstream media on the other side of that location 9 will give you the way we are telling you, that message will not be delivered. And I will now go into the update of this evening. Once again, a country where I will be sending you a video in a minute where we don't know where the Chinese are. The Chinese that we've been told came into the country. Before I go into the figure, I listened to the Minister for Health today, and I did a screenshot, and we also have the video. And this is what it says. A Haneri, the Chinese did not come to Nigeria on the federal government invitation. It's a time to make sure that we do everything now before it's too late to come out of location 9. Once again, Heritage TV, the finest. We now have another 288 new cases. We go according to what they're telling us, but I'm sure in your mind, those figure is way over what we're telling you. But we still have to go according to what the Nigerian Center for Disease Control is giving us. And that comes on the screen. A total of 5,445 people have now been confirmed of COVID-19, or also known as coronavirus, after the first index in the country. 1,320 people have been discharged. So many of you have been asking, is there a difference between the coronavirus in Nigeria and the one in Europe, where people are coming out of their isolation center to protest, where people are also saying that, all sort you've seen. The death is now 171. Once again, 5,445 people have now died of coronavirus. And as I'm getting ready to come out, I would want my very big boss back in the studio to quickly let us please listen to what took place in just 42 seconds to indicate whether this is a government that is open or this is a government that is telling us what we don't want to hear. Where are the Chinese? You told us that they came in to support, but I'm sure when our viewers listen to that video, you'll be able to judge according to yourself. Like I said, the total figure is 5,445. 171 people have died. Let me give you the breakdown quickly. It's about 288 new confirmed cases today. Lagos is 179, Kaduna is 20, Katsina is 15, Jigawa 15, Borno 13, Ogun State is 11, Kano is 8, FCT is 7, Niger State is 4, Ekiti State is 4, Oyo State is 3, Delta State is 3, Bauchi State is 3, Kwara State is 2, Edo State is one. Like I said, a lot of work in our hands, but one thing is, it's not just COVID-19 we want to get rid of in Nigeria. We also want to make sure that we all emerge into a new nation out of the location 9. And if you're not ready, like I did say earlier on today, if you traveled on the London Underground here, you notice that people come in and people come out. You will be part of those that will join us along the route, or you will be part of those that will start that journey. And that journey is part of what we've been discussing. You can be a betrayer, but do you know that you won't stop and hold those that are ready? And if we have to get this message out, we must also respect each other on any platform, be it Simon Ekpa, be it in Kanu, be it on Heritage. As long as they are speaking the gospel of what you want to keep hearing, and that is the only way forward. And like I said, we will bat into a new nation. If Scotland say they want to come out of Great Britain, I'm sure those of you that follow the for and against before the EU, Boris Johnson was part of those that campaigned to take us out of the European Union, and he delivered that. And we will be part of those that will deliver us into a new nation. I'll go back again to you in the studio.
You have a video that you want to play. Should I roll it now?
Roll it, please.
You have a video that you want me to roll.
It's already on your WhatsApp, sir.
Yeah, do you want me to roll it now?
Oh, yes, please roll it now.
What I stated yesterday is that, first of all, they didn't come here at the invitation of the Federal Ministry of Health. We're not the ones who brought them. They are here with their company, CCECC. That's what I stated. That's what I know. But we didn't apply for them. But we have also seized the opportunity to have interaction online, remote, to say, how do you treat cases? How did you take care of your severe cases? How do you take care of your mild cases? They use traditional medicine in some places. But there's no face-to-face meeting at all with them at all. We didn't have any face-to-face meeting.
Okay, thank you for that video. And I have to say a very big thank you to Deborah as well. She has done something wonderful to our GoFundMe page. I want to say a very big thank you to her for that. Yeah, guys, I actually thank you for everything. I'm going to be releasing everybody now soon, because you know when we release the figures, it means it's time to go home. I've seen it, Deborah. I've seen it. I actually say thank you to you. God bless you, guys. We really want to say thank you to everyone who has watched with us today, who has been with us from the beginning, who has been with us in the middle, and even Matthias that come very, very late after finishing with Abelio in Campbell Green. Thank you for watching this program today. I'm really impressed and excited to see somebody like you on the show. Guys, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being there. Thank you for always being there for us. Without you, we can't be here. We can't. We just can't be here. Remember, the betrayer among us are not your enemy. They are our friends. All we need to do is to try and correct them with education and rein them in. Until tomorrow, that will be coming your way again. Remember, Frank has started his own program as well. It's called The State of the Nation. And that is, when is your program? Every Friday, I believe, maybe 1 o'clock. And for people who has not visited the GoFundMe team, please go and do so. And no matter what you put there, we will seriously appreciate you. Until next time that we will come your way again, that you will come our way again, I remain loyal to you. We remain loyal to you. And you remain loyal to us. From Heritage Television, good night and don't have no nightmare. Bye-bye.
Heritage TV. La, 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 la. everybody in London. Have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.